Okay, there you go. We see you. Yeah, you can start your presentation.
So my topic is about nanosensors and how they can help with heart disease. My name's Ahan Kale, and I'm from Evergreen Valley High School. I'm a junior. So this is my introduction. In the United States of America, the leading cause of death is heart disease, and as shown on the map, we can see that throughout the United States, that heart disease takes quite a lot of lives. So this is evident that a solution is needed. And the things I'm going to cover in my research paper are the types of heart disease, about nanosensors, and how the nanosensors can help with the heart disease. So my literature review. So for the types of heart disease, while there are many, my main focus is on coronary heart disease, and this heart disease involves the um blockage of the major heart or blood arteries by causing the buildup of plaque from high cholesterol deposits that restricts the blood flow. And oftentimes, when the blood flow is restricted to a certain extent, it results in heart attacks and heart failure. So nanosensors as well. Nanosensors are a relatively new technology and they're quite minuscule, so they'll be able to be inserted to the human body. And their main purpose is to detect and report biomarkers, and they utilize machine learning to recognize certain levels that are higher than expected. So, what are biomarkers? Biomarkers are measured characteristics of the body. They can be respiratory levels, blood glucose levels, cholesterol levels, and essentially they're provided by nanosensors. So they're sort of a metric that we can use to um, give an earlier diagnosis. Because, for example, if the biomarker is reported as high cholesterol, then we can see signs of heart disease can be evident because heart disease and high cholesterol levels are very they correlate very well. Yeah, and they help with the earlier diagnosis. So some symptoms of heart disease, what should the nanosensors look for? They should look for low respiratory levels, abnormalities in the heart rate, for example, either they're too high or too low, the blood pressure levels, and high cholesterol levels. These are all trackable by the nanosensors. And so now how can the nanosensors help? The nanosensors can provide the biomarkers, which can then be observed by doctors who can then give an earlier diagnosis. And this is important because the later on heart disease progresses, the more unlikely it is of survival. That's why it's essential that we should have an earlier diagnosis. Yeah, and then so an example can be for cholesterol. How can the nanosensor detect cholesterol? Once the nanosensor is inserted into the human body, it'll be able to find the cholesterol molecules and bind with the cholesterol molecules. Once it is then binded, it'll emit a signal that essentially states that there are cholesterol levels here, and the sensitivity of the signal denotes how high the levels are. So a higher sensitivity level would denote that there's a high cholesterol level. And so now for my methodology and results. My information is collected from very reliable sources such as the World Health Organization, Harvard Research, and the National Library of Medicines. Um, my results show that nanosensors can help with preventing the lethality of cardiovascular disease, and that the biomarkers that are provided by a nanosensor will allow for earlier diagnosis. And it's important to understand that the later progression of heart disease would equal to lower survival rates, and heart disease, it's quite in the earlier stages, it's very easy to go unnoticed. So that's why many people don't know they have heart disease until it's quite late. That's why heart disease also accounts for most of the United States death toll. Um, and so essentially, in earlier diagnosis, it would act as a cure essentially, because basically, in earlier diagnosis would allow for lifestyle changes, which would increase the likelihood of survival. For example, someone with heart disease may not be getting enough exercise, or they may not be eating the required foods to keep their heart healthy. And so my conclusion. So the types of heart disease, I wanted to focus on coronary heart disease, which affects the major arteries with the buildup of plaque from high cholesterol deposits. And about nanosensors, nanosensors are micro-sized advancements in healthcare that can provide biomarkers. And to wrap it up, how can nanosensors help with heart disease? The biomarkers that are provided by nanosensors show abnormalities which doctors can analyze to provide an earlier diagnosis, which helps with increased survival rates. My contribution, the education of the deadliness of heart disease as well as the possibilities of nanosensors as a solution. This disease, heart disease, is quite lethal, and um, I feel like a solution is required. That's why a nanosensor should be utilized. Although there are some limitations, while nanosensors are a relatively new technology, they need more testing to be accurate, as well as the signals that nanosensors emit can be intercepted by something like noises or noises, which can affect the strength of the signal, which can affect the reported level of deposits. Like for example, cholesterol. If the signal is high, it's detect or reporting high, but there is some signal interference and it's a low signal, it'll be interpreted as a low cholesterol deposit. And in actuality, it's a high cholesterol deposit. And that's it.
Excellent, Ahan. You want to turn off your, you want to share your experience with Professor Christina, Gifted Gabber program, and Professor Virgo?
Yeah, so overall, my experience was very enjoyable. Both professors helped me to understand, or actually, Dr. Christina helped me to understand more about the nanotechnology. I got a further in-depth review to a new topic I wasn't really educated about, and as well as Dr. Virgil or Professor Virgil, who helped me with the formatting of my paper and taught me new writing techniques that could help me elevate my writing.
Yeah. Excellent. Question for Ahan, Dr. Christina.
Yeah, good job. I have a question. When we are talking about nanosensor, so in this particular case for the heart disease, when you are doing your research, what are they going to be used more for? Are they going to be like real-time monitoring of these markers, or they'll be such just a regular testing?
Oh, real-time monitoring.
Real time, and okay, that's the better way if you want to prevent actually the disease. Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. Great job, Ahan. Your topic was very unique, and the way you presented, it was a lot to learn. It was pretty amazing. Congratulations. And everybody, 2 questions for Ahan.